First, what's your name, sir?
Robert Lee Jones Jr., but everybody called me Pastor Jones.
Okay, Pastor Jones. And where are you from? Where you grow up at?
Pacoima, San Fernando Valley.
And you were born in California?
No, I was born in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, and then you moved to California when?
Mm, I was 4 years old. That
Okay.
was around 1956.
And how old are you currently?
I will be 74 years old on Wednesday, December the 10th.
So that's 2 days away.
2 days away.
Okay, happy early birthday to you.
Yeah, thank you.
And you grew up in Pacoima all your life?
Yeah, the majority of it. Yeah, Pacoima in that area.
Can you tell us what it's like growing up in Pacoima?
Well, growing up in Pacoima, during my time of growing up, most other people, we were the first generation to grow up out of the South. Most of us was born Louisiana, Texas, Georgia, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama. So so we was somewhat of a mixture of Southern and and city, I guess. My parents came from out of the woods, out of the country.
Okay. And growing up in Pacoima, was it anything like growing up hard in the streets in Pacoima?
No,
So
no, not
Pacoima's particularly like it was a decent area.
yeah. Some pretty much we wasn't really concerned about being shot, or there wasn't no gangs. There wasn't no what you call it, Pyru Crips, and none of that. With us growing up, if somebody said cuz, that was a cousin. Somebody said blood, that was just black. So no, we,
Were you into the streets growing up in Pacoima at all? Like,
not with my mother.
okay,
Not
you
with
had strict parents.
uh, yeah, yeah. They uh, everybody, most of us had those type of parents. Those type of parents. For instance, everybody knew when the street lights came on, you had to go home. So no matter what you was doing, it's time to go. The streets light told you to go home.
Okay. Growing up in the 70s and 80s, it was like an epidemic of, drugs everywhere.
Yeah,
Did you
true.
ever get caught up in that era?
20 years.
20 years.
20 years.
So, do you mind telling us how you got caught up in that era for 20 years?
Uh, well, I started off. I was just a little weed smoker. I like weed, and I was a car salesman, and so I've always done things. I never really did things on a small level. So for me, I don't like looking for stuff. I'm gonna try to make it short. Uh, I didn't like looking for stuff, and so I would buy me a pound for my personal use. not to sell. But of course, when cousins and friends and stuff came over, they everybody wanted to buy something, which I wasn't too quick to sell anything. Too quick to sell anything, but I did have a cousin, and we went in. I would go in on a key, and we would split the key. And we, key was 2.3. Afterward, um, but being a car salesman, you know what's on car lots, right?
Yeah.
Mex- Mexicans, Cubans, and Colombians. That's who's on car lots. We was all young in our 20s, early 20s, and whatever. And and so I asked them, and the next thing I know, I was in business. Next thing I knew, I was selling. I was selling what 30, 30 kilos in the morning and 30 kilos at night every day. I'm selling 60 a day, and I was just among friends. But
So
mhm.
how how much would that be in pounds, saying as you selling 30 kilos in the morning and 30
Okay,
kilos in
well
the evening?
yeah, well that would be times two. A key would be 2.3 or so, over 2 pounds. But I was just doing it so that I can get a pound, get get my pound cheap. But then it started out like that. Once it got to that, then of course I decided it would be a good business.
So you saying that you would sell the marijuana for other people so that you can get a pound for your personal use?
No, well, at that point, I was selling for money. I was selling for the money at that particular time. So
Okay.
so um, I ended up in business. I ended up in business. The Mexican guy seeing we was good with it, and I was running him a little bit too hard, and so the next thing I know, he brought me a big sack with 30 kilos in it, and told me to call me when I got his dinero. So that's what we did.
And how much dinero would you make off of 30 keys each time?
Uh, each time, let's say 15 times 30, because I didn't I wasn't a seller or somebody that you can just come to. I did. I would get 10 friends, 10 people that I grew up with, old kindergarten buddies, people that I grew up with that was characterized somewhat like myself, and each of them had about 10 friends. 10 times 10 is 100. Is 100. I was able to service 10 people, 10 people, 100 people, and all I ever seen was 10.
So how much money would you say you made each time you did it?
Mm. About anywhere between probably about 600, about 650, somewhere around in there.
Okay, so you would make $650 in the morning and $650 in the evening.
Yeah,
Okay. How long did you do that for?
I did that till I got in trouble in Louisiana. That was about a year, and they kept trying to get me to switch over to that white powder, and I wasn't too quick with that. I told them we'll do them. Bring me the Malta. Me and the Malta's good business. And so,
Okay.
yeah,
So they tried to get you to start messing with the powder,
yeah,
and you never got into that.
yeah, I did
Did you sell or use?
both. I
Okay.
didn't use at first. I didn't use it first, but I did a lot of night running.
So what led you to using?
Uh, a number of things can lead you to using a lot of things, such as a lot of the environment. But I was dealing with people that had things that was private type of private type of people. Uh, in a higher market. I never sold like 20s. The first time I saw powder cocaine, first time I saw it, they brought me a quarter pound, I think, 4 ounces. And they said and they wanted to know could would uh to see what I can do with it.
Okay. And were you able to handle it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was able to handle it.
And that dealing with those, quarter pounds, is that what led you to
Oh no,
indulging in it?
oh no, I can deal with any. I could do any amount. It didn't matter. It wasn't just that. That was the first time I saw it. But no, it was no, it wasn't that. I went for quite a while without even touching, not even touching. But eventually, it depends on who the person is. You know, it's such as the Bible. When I started trying to figure out, as the Bible say in Psalms 1, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, or sitteth in the seat of the scornful, or standeth in the way of sinners. Well, I was in the midst. Uh, I would tell. I often tell people that you can't have a chicken farm and raise chickens without stepping in chicken mess. You're gonna get something on your feet. That's the reason why the farmers wear those high rubber boots.
Okay.
So
And like, how long was it for you that you sold until you started to use?
probably a couple of years, 2 or 3 years.
Okay. And you said 20 years involved. So you say 2 or 3 years of selling. So you say about 17 years of using.
Yeah, I'd say about 17. I might even say 20. I, when I go back, and it was probably about probably about 20 years.
Was it preferably um, powder or hard that
Hard,
you preferred to use?
hard.
Okay. And they usually say, like, when people indulge in hard, they're looking for that initial high as they continue to indulge. Was that for you?
Mm, I don't know what I was looking for, brother.
Okay,
It's an illusion.
got you.
It's all an illusion.
And you were
It's,
blessed to overcome that
yeah.
because a lot of people don't overcome it and they get caught in it for
Well,
a long
well,
time.
I was blessed to the point. I was blessed to the point that my original background You see, I if I can, I will interpret another scripture that says, "To train a child the way it should go when it's young, and when it's old, it won't depart." My background, my background, in my upbringing, in my people, from where I came from, helped me to overcome. I was never satisfied. I was never satisfied with where I was. I spent time and time again off and then back on, off and back on. And so if you're raised a certain way, as it said, train him as he should go. You see, that scripture never says that the child won't stray. It simply says training, so that you will put something in that child, that you'll put something in him, that when he go astray, he can find his way back to the home highway. And, you have to understand, uh, I was a mandatory church and Sunday school guy at 12 at 12 years old. At 12 years old, I was teaching Sunday school. So
Okay.
so I had a word, I had instructions in me. And when once you get weary enough, you go to these meetings, meetings that tell you, well, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll quit.
Yeah.
you know,
And how old was you when you finally came to the realization that you didn't need this anymore?
about 41.
41?
Yeah, yeah, about 41. I'm I'm going on now 32 years clean.
That's good.
Yeah, 32 years clean. Uh, and I'm I'm clean enough. I don't want nothing. I don't I don't I don't want a light beer. And to tell you the truth, a light beer is cleaner than LA drinking water. I
Mm.
don't I don't want that. As far as people may ask me, and I'll tell them, brother or sister, I have had enough buzzes to last me a lifetime. I know what a buzz feel like. If I want to get myself high, I can get myself high through my mind because I know, but I don't want that. But I know, and I don't have to because I have I know who the controller is. I know who God gave me to. God gave me to me, and it's up to me. And to anybody else, it's up to them. It ain't up to nobody else. God gave me to me. And because he gave me to me, it's up to me. And from the beginning, he says what? If you know scripture, he says what? I give you what? Charge or dominion over everything. So and everything means over this life. So it's up to me. I can accomplish, I can get by his power, whatever and anything that I want.
Okay. And did you have children while you was going through the phases that you went through?
Yeah, I had children.
How many kids do you have?
I fathered four.
Okay. And did you raise all your children?
I was always there around them, but no, I can't say I raised them. Um, but I was always there. I talked to them. And before I I got into whatever, I instilled what they would need to survive.
Okay. Well, that's good. Okay, I seen that you were on a podcast and
You
it's
see me on a
called,
podcast?
yeah, I seen you on a podcast called No Jumper.
Oh, okay.
And I seen you on the podcast and you were on there with a few individuals.
Yeah,
And
four of us.
yeah, what was the reason for you going on the podcast?
What was the reason that I went to that podcast?
Yes.
Well, my son asked me,
Okay. And your son is
Cash,
Cash.
Cash, yeah, Cash.
And you named your son Cash?
Only child I named
Okay. And what um made you pick the name Cash?
because I was in the money. His middle name and my name, his middle name is my mother's maiden name. Is my mother's maiden name and my last name. So so my mother's maiden name and my father and my last name breeding together is what created me. And at the time I was in the money. So I named him Cash and I said that every time he hear his name, it's going to remind him of who he need and what he need some cash. So I said now I done made cash, and now all we need is some money.
Okay. And Cash brought you to No Jumper. Was you surprised for him to bring you to No Jumper?
No, I'm never surprised at anything my kids do. He asked me. He asked me just like the lady asked me, would I be on this uh, podcast? And I agreed. No problem.
Okay. And you have how many sons?
I fathered three, one deceased.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
And would you say your son Cash is the son that you more favor?
No, I love all my children. No.
Okay. And did they grow up in Pacoima?
Yeah.
So they haven't grew up in any gangs or anything in Pacoima because you said there wasn't any gangs in Pacoima.
I said it wasn't gangs in Bitcoin when I was growing up.
Okay, so they might have grew up in a gang.
Yeah, they got that affiliation. If
Okay,
you and if you know Cash or you heard of Cash or whichever one of those people that you would pick out that would have been my son on there. If you ever listen to them or know that, then you would know exactly who and what he is and what he grew up in. You know which one was Cash?
was it the
I
guy
call my son Cash. Y'all call him something different. Which one would have been my son?
that was sitting next to you that
Mm-hmm.
you had communication with,
Mm-hmm.
and he was when I seen him on there, he was saying that at one point you were around him and you guys were in a car together one time and he had a strap firearm with him and he said American Express.
You don't leave home without it.
Yeah, and I heard you say that, and that was catchy. So I said that was something to really say to your father. And how old was he then?
About 13 or 14.
As a kid, was he ever arrested?
Yeah, you don't know his story?
No, that's why I'm talking to you.
No, well, yeah, well, he said on that podcast, he said that he was one of the youngest people to ever hit the penitentiary, the male penitentiary. They tried him as an adult when he was 15 or 16.
And how was the first time he went to prison?
No, I don't know. Well, he went to the state prison at 16.
As a juvenile.
No.
Yeah, 16, he's a juvenile. So he went to the state
Well,
prison,
yeah, okay. If you want to do it by age, yeah.
but they charged him as an adult.
Yeah, he was tried as an adult. He took the sentence as an adult. But do do we want to talk about Cash, or do we want to talk about me?
We're going
Which
to
one?
talk about both of you.
Yeah, well, I don't really talk or expose him, but even though he done told his whole story.
Yeah, that's why I asked you as well. I know, I'm sure he's going to tell his story because he
Well,
does
let me tell
talk a
you.
lot.
Well, let me tell you, because he didn't told this story. He didn't told this story. The first 5 years of his life, his mother said, his mother said, she was not, that I was not going to put another one on her, that she was going to have him because she really didn't want to have the baby. She was going to have him, but I was going to take care of him. I was going to know when he cried. I was going to know. I was going to know when he need changing. I was going to know what his cries and whatever meant. So, so I said, give him here. So when he was born as an infant, he rode with me. He rode with me and my right hand man, my partner. I put him in the baby seat. I put him in the baby seat. I put two diapers on him, one to catch the mess and the other one to hold the mess in between. So, so his first 5 years, and I was around uh, people that sold, because that's what I was doing. I was taking it to him. I was taking it to them, and they had high. I guess I can call them high end entertaining customers, which I'm not at liberty to say their name. Them, almost anybody that you could name, name, and that was his first 5 years. He was he was smart. He's always been smart. The boy got straight A's. He was one heck of an athlete. He was one heck of an athlete. I believe he was like that because he had two older brothers, and he always ran with them, and so he did things to keep up with them. He ran fast and whatever. When he played Pop Warner football, I named him Breakmaster, and people was looking at him. Uh, People was looking at him. Scouts and stuff was looking at him. Even when he was young, they was looking at him. But he chose another route, and that's the route he went. But uh, he, he also told me once, he said, Daddy, I'm going to always get A's. I never seen a person cry over a B or a B plus, but he would cry behind because he got a B. He wanted A's. He wanted A's. So he was always pretty smart. Boy, when he was in the fifth grade, they called us to the school and said, Mr. Jones, we want to send him to junior high, to from because he have already got A's in all of our sixth grade subjects. So he skipped right over, and he's always been smart, and he's always been smart and intelligent. He I believe he speaks well. I don't listen to because I don't know when podcasts and different stuff comes on, so I don't really listen to him. But people, young people are always telling me about him. Some like him, some hate him. That's probably about you know. We don't we I guess we're all right with each other most of the time, but he's probably I don't know. He might be a little upset or something with me because I didn't live up to being the father that I should have. But there's nothing I can do about that now, is it?
Correct.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to know about Cash? that
Um,
that's I know you guys know them as what is it, Wack 100?
yes.
Yeah, that's
So you
yeah,
said that,
my baby. That's my youngest son. That's my youngest child, period.
okay. You said that, you was there around and you would speak to him, but you didn't raise him.
Well,
Who
I
raised him?
raised I raised them, but I didn't raise them in the content that I should have raised him. He ain't never had another father but me. His mama ain't never been married to nobody but me. And
It was a guy by the name of G Mac. He said that his uncle was the one that raised Cash.
well, G Maddie is a liar.
Okay. So his
Yes,
uncle didn't raise Cash at all.
who uncle?
G Mac. He said his uncle, somebody that was in Pacoima, and I guess he was big time in Pacoima, and he said that he came up with Cash, and the uncle had raised him, and he looked out for him, and he took him in.
No, no, G Mac. That I had a friend that lived next door, but it wasn't no G Mac. I don't know. See, look, I just about knew all of their friends, but I knew them as a baby and as they grew up. When if one tell me, give me a name like that, they have to give me that. Oh, Pop, you know who G Mac is. G Mac is Leonard so and so, Bill so and so. I don't know G Mac. I
Okay.
don't know G Mac. I wouldn't know Wack 100 if except for he belonged to me.
Okay. And
People,
as a
okay,
kid, right? Um,
yeah.
what was he arrested for?
I don't know. I don't know. I was probably in prison when he was arrested.
Okay. Because it was stories flying around that he was arrested for firing a BB gun at someone. And I wondered if you knew if that story was true or if it was something else.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not at liberty to give Cash's story. I'm at liberty to give mine, but I can't. I mean, I guess I know probably more of some things or some stuff about him as anybody would know, but I'm not at liberty to tell his story. Number one, I didn't consult him. Say, hey, son, hey, man, look, check this out. I'm gonna be on this broadcast, and if your name comes up, I'm not at liberty to tell this story. That's my son. That's my baby boy. I love him. I love him, and uh, everybody, most people knows his story.
Did y'all spend Thanksgiving together?
No, not this time. We normally do every year. We normally that's when our family get together. Everybody, that's when we get together. Uh, they they did prepare the dressing and it was good. They
Okay.
prepared the dressing because that's what they was going to bring. We do potluck, so they prepared the dressing. But he had some business. He had some business. I think he was taking care of Ray J.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you talk to him and R&B often?
No,
Okay. Uh when you went to No Jumper, you didn't say too much on No Jumper, and it looked like you really didn't even know why you was there.
probably just my blank look, brother.
Okay, because you was like, man, I don't even know why I'm here. And then when you had a conversation, uh, he said to you that he was gonna put his hands on you as a child. I said, this is your father. Did you remember that?
Yeah,
What happened in that situation? Why would he want to put his hands on you?
no, he wasn't going to put his hands on me. He was going to protect himself from me doing whatever a father might do. It was just a situation. It was a situation. I told him that I needed to speak to him, and with him, I'm sure he had a lot of anger stored up in him, which was probably rightfully so. But he had that anger. He had the anger in him, and so he wanted. He said, "Tell him he can talk. That I can talk to him right now." Uh, those was his people, and they ain't got no secret. I kept well. He kind of bagged me up, so I so what I told him, he got angry, and so angry people, once you lose your mind, your thoughts, angry people then want to do what they figure they can do. But I wouldn't go that way because, as we said on the was that the no jumper, I didn't go that way because I told him I know if I came out there and we would have got into and we would have got into it, I would kill him. I would have to kill him. And that's why I told him I didn't come out that fence. I'd kill you.
Was he always disrespectful
No,
as a child? Like the way he talks now is very like disrespectful.
no, he wasn't just. He haven't been always disrespectful. He was a loving. He was. He. Matter of fact, I thought he was going to be my. I, shoot, I thought he was going to be the closest to me because his first 5 years of his life he spent with me, and up until so no.
So he just transformed as an adult. You didn't think that he would be like that, but as now he's just very, angry at everyone. And I don't know, is that because of his childhood, but he's just very angry towards everyone.
I don't think he's angry. I think shoot, I don't think he's angry. If his persona or whatever calls you in the way that he in the way that he expresses himself, that's him. Everybody have their own characteristic. Everybody have, you know, Yeah.
Did you take it as a kid, him being like a liar, like trying to manipulate situations to,
You don't
you
lie.
know, benefit
You
himself?
don't lie. I ain't known him to be no liar.
So he's always been truthful with you.
As far as I know, he's been truthful with everybody. I don't know. But let me say this. See, let me say this. Would you like to know concerning my transformation from from all of this stuff and the way I raised raised people and the people that came from me, out of me, and with me? Would you like to know how I ended up from being who and what I was to who I am and what I am now?
That's
I
where we're
made
gonna
a
get to.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's where we're gonna get to. We wanted to hear a little bit of the front story, and then we could get to the backstory so we can understand how did you transition to become a pastor.
Yeah. Well,
Because you know, people have trauma in their life and they go through different things and they elevate from different things they go through and it makes them the person that they are currently. Or some people don't elevate, but some do.
yeah.
And from talking to you, I can see that you've definitely elevated into a different person than you were years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. But remember, I said I fathered four, but we've been on one, and the one that we've been on is the last one that came.
So tell us about the other kids.
The other one is good. My second son was murdered 20 years ago, almost 21 years.
Do they all have a relationship with each other?
Oh yeah, oh
That's
yeah. Then
good.
I have then the my three sons is from my wife. Their mother. All of them have the same mother. My daughter, she have a different mother, but we love her,
Okay.
and 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 the truth about it, she might have came out a little better than the rest of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but she's a parole officer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah, she
Law
that's
enforcement, that's good.
yeah,
She's trying to keep some people straight.
yeah, she's living. That's what she's doing. She maybe she is trying to keep some people straight because it's her job, but she's
Yeah.
living. Yeah.
Okay. And when did you become a pastor?
Oh, been pastor now, practicing out, but probably a good 20, 20 or 30, 20 or so something years. Quite a few years. Quite a few years. I used to um, the pastor that ordained me. He had to convince me that I was a pastor because I served in the park over at Handsome Dam. I don't know whether or not you know where Handsome Dam is, but I served over there for about 5 or 6 years. And he told me, I said, because he wanted to ordain me, I told him, I'm not, I don't need to be ordained to do this. He said, you're a pastor. You need to be ordained as a pastor. He told me I was a pastor, and so and he said, you the pastor over in this park because these people don't have no other pastor but you. So I took that. But the truth about the matter is I felt and knew that that calling was on me probably when I was around 6 or 7.
Okay.
I was I was young, but I felt it. I always knew it. But as I got older, I said as I got older, and when I knew I was called, and I decided finally, because in 1976, Spirit gave me the title of the church, which is Universal Church of God in Action, because I serve a God of the universe, and I don't serve a do nothing God. I serve a God of action, and so that's what we're trying to get instilled in this church: God in action. So I'd probably say that uh, the the church itself came in 1976, and that was before I did was got caught up. So I figured I got caught up, and God allowed me, even being caught up through all the danger, through everything I went through. He preserved me, but He never took the desire to serve Him.
So you've been delivered.
Yeah, well, if you want to call it delivered, yeah. The only thing that I had to get delivered from was those drugs. You want to call it delivered?
And for you to get delivered from them, you feel like it was mostly God that gave you the guidance to change your life around?
It's always God, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Even with those that fail to admit it, you know, sometimes people can ask themselves, why is it that that bullet went right past me and I heard it going past my ear and it hit this person? See, why is it that this person, that somebody over here uh, fail? I know a bunch of my people that I grew up with that that was living a better life than me. They gone. They're gone. But I personally asked God. I said, Lord, why me? Why would you have called me to be a pastor with that kind of responsibility when I didn't even deal with my responsibility with my family, with my wife, with my children? Why me? And I also told him, Lord, I don't know nothing about being no pastor. The Spirit told me, as far as that goes, Spirit said, God says, don't worry about that. He knows. So He knows what type of, uh, how He want His church, how He want things done. So
What was your turning point? Whereas though you said this is
my
enough,
turning point,
enough.
okay, my turning point was I was in and out of jail, in and out of prison, and not for things that I was doing, like getting caught up stealing and all of that kind of stuff. Just parole violation. I could not seem to keep my lips off of that glass. And and but see, every time I go back, you see, prison, there is no rehabilitation. There is no rehabilitation in prison. The rehabilitation is is the time that it gives you to yourself to think. Well, like I said, the way I was raised, I had things to help me think. So that last term I did, which I was an N number, narcotic number. I was an N number. So the last term I did, and I kept every time I went, I did more time, more time, more. Last time I did 14, I think 14 or so months, and I made up my mind that was it. I wasn't gonna. That was it, and that was it.
How many times have you been incarcerated?
I don't know. I know. I know from that one thing, it was like took me 7 years to get off that number.
The
But the last,
longest,
yeah, but the last time it was a piece of cake. I can't count how many times I've been incarcerated from. Um, Most of it was county time.
the longest time you did in jail was the 14 months.
Yep, yep.
Was that the hardest?
No, that was the easiest.
What time was the hardest?
All the other times.
Missing your family and, you know,
Well, I
doing,
missed them then. I missed everything then. The reason why the 14 months was the easiest time was because I was set free. It was the easiest. It was the easiest time because I knew it was. I was finished. It was over. I didn't have to come back no more. I wasn't going to come back no more, and I felt that. You know, I'm sure you do. I don't know. I don't know what might be plaguing you now, but but there's people that never been to prison that's not free.
correct.
Okay, but once I once once I regained control of myself, it was easy. It was easy to wake up behind those walls. Let's face it, I wasn't a lifer. They're gonna let me go sometime. Whenever they're gonna let me go, I'll just be. They open the gate to freer expansion. I can I can go beyond this stuff that they set up. I can go beyond. I can go visit my grandma. I can go where cousins is in Michigan, and I can go beyond.
What would you say to people that are caught in an addiction to give them some advice to understand, how to overcome it?
Well, give them advice as to how to overcome it.
Yes.
Oh, it's kind of hard. You know why it's hard? The reason why it's hard is because to to tell somebody and to get them to the point that they have to get to take control of themselves. Watch. Let me give you one example. I constantly tell people, and I preach this. I tell people, just like we're talking now, right? You, Dizzy, you don't see me. You'll never see me. Why? Why? Because I'm body and spirit. The body is nothing but a vehicle. You can't see the spirit that's driving the body. Why? It's a spirit. You can't see that. I'm identified by my vehicle that I operate in. The body's nothing but what? An organic vehicle. So the inner you, the true you, the body was made for the spirit, not the spirit for the body. How do you get a person to understand that? And they're caught up.
Somebody has to understand that on their own. It's hard to
That's
teach
what I'm
somebody.
telling you. That's what I did. I understand this. I know who I am. I know what I am. I'm a man. And the man creature is made superior over all other creatures. So I tell people, I don't give myself to nothing and nobody. That means substance and nobody. I won't give myself to my wife.
How long you and your wife been together?
30 years.
And you said you still won't give yourself to her.
No, I won't give myself to her. She don't know what to do with me. I'm the one know what to do with me. I'm the one know what I want. I'm the one know what I'm feeling. But you know what I will do with my wife? You know what I give my wife?
Let us know.
I'll share me with my wife. We're in this life. We agreed to share our life together. So therefore, I ain't trying to control her. I ain't trying to make her do this. She, I'll share. It's good to share, right?
Yeah.
That's what I do. I share. I advise anybody to share. To share. My wife, my wife told me the other day that she has been the happiest. This has been the happiest part of her life, and she's not the mother of those kids.
And she's not the mother.
No, she got 6 kids of her own.
Okay.
Hey, 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 Diddy, I'm going to turn 74. She's 83.
Oh, that's good. 83.
Yeah, hey, man, look, when I was coming home, I told God, I said, Lord, you said that it's not good that man should be alone. Lord, give me all that I need to do this work. And he gave me, but see, with me being a man and her being 83 does not give her the right to rule over me.
Do
I,
you have any regrets?
about what?
Anything throughout your life that you might think about and say that you regret?
Mm, regret, that's a harsh word, man. What do you mean by regret?
Something that might experience throughout your life that you wish you didn't experience.
No, I'll tell you the reason why I don't have no regrets. Because everything that I have experienced, I've been through, everything that I've been through, you know, uh, is what have is what makes me the person that I am today. It it gives me understanding because it was an experience.
Correct.
Yeah, because it was an experience, it gives me the look. God couldn't use me to help another addict What can I tell another addict? What can I tell him with understanding of concerning getting high, or how, or how to even begin coming out if I haven't had that experience? Why else did he allow me to have the experience and not die? It was a death defying experience, right? I could have died like a lot of other people did, but I didn't. So I used that. Which you, uh, if you were smart enough, or if you consider it, if you had one woman, you had one woman, and you experienced that woman, are you smart enough or wise enough to take your experience with that woman in order to enhance the experience with the next one? Most people won't do that. Most people, to most people, go right to the next one and try to mold someone. I ain't trying to mold nobody. I'm too busy molding my own self. I'm not
So,
I'm not done with me. Are you done with you?
not at all.
Okay. I like that. I like you not being done with yourself.
So, the experiences you experienced with your first wife, did it teach you how to, be a better man for your current wife?
Yeah, I believe it did. I believe it did, even though I don't do the things. Shoot, my first wife haven't experienced no addictions and stuff like that out of me. This wife didn't. And my first wife, my son's mother, I love that woman to death. I loved her. But let me tell you, when I married her the day after she turned 16. She was going to the 11th grade, and I was 17 years old. And I was going to the 12th grade. And I loved her, and she loved me. But, Brother Dizzy, that's what happens when you give yourself to something outside of yourself. It pulls you away from that which you really care, because it's the first thing it's going to pull you away from is you. And when you get pulled away from you, you're not going to be happy.
How long were y'all together?
Mm. We was together, let's say, I divorced her, but I planned that one. I thought I was teaching her a lesson. So I told her we was going to be separated for 3 years. And within those 3 years, we would get married again. If I ain't did nothing she couldn't accept, and if she ain't did nothing I couldn't accept. So we separated for 3 years. We divorced. During that time, that was when we had our second son. During the time that separation, we had the second one, and we remarried, and we was together then about 20 some years then. So we was together all in all. We started. She was in the eighth grade. I was in the ninth grade. So
But y'all was in love though.
yeah, and we. I can't say that we're not in love today.
Do you still speak to her?
Sure, go see her once a month at least. But she's in a hospital. She's kind of incapacitated. But I make sure once a month. Once a month, me and my older son go and see her.
Okay, just you and him.
Yeah, just me and him together.
Okay,
I can't say what anybody else do.
got you.
I won't say what anybody else do. I won't say what they do. I won't say what they won't do. Uh, but I know what I do. I can only speak for myself.
Okay. We definitely appreciate you uh,
Okay.
letting us know a little bit about your life and
All right.
things that you went through.
Yeah.
And um, do you want to let the people know anything about your church, how your church
Sure.
goes?
Sure. Sure. We're located in Lancaster, in the Antelope Valley, at 45235 10th Street West. At 10th Street West, we are a God-fearing church, but I've been called, I believe now, to deliver my people. My people. You see that, right, Dizzy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my people. And I could have talked about that a little bit more, but but you see, we done been through so much, and it's not being addressed. When Jesus came to the Jews. He came to the Jews, and anybody could benefit from his teaching, but he was talking to the Jews. So God always sends a deliverer. He sends a deliverer. He sent Moses to deliver the Hebrews. And if I can deliver our people because it's not we're not being addressed, we can't even we're not even holding on to our women these days. Why? Why? Because because we don't realize we get our women. We can marry a woman and we can have a woman. She could be in love with us, but when they wrecked us, they wrecked them right along with us. So we have to become man enough and and uh, intelligent enough to bring them out of what they've been through. And I ain't talking about what they've been through yesterday or last week. I'm talking about what they've been through 200 and 300 years ago. We need to study that. We need to understand that. But I appreciate you allowing me to speak. Speak. I'm on Robert Jones. Robert Jones every Sunday. And anyone that's in the Antelope Valley, come see us. 45235 10th Street West.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you, my brother.
All right.